Hey everybody, I hope you are well. Thanks so much for clicking and spending some time with me. I appreciate it. We're doing something a little bit different today. It's not an unboxing. I had heard on or read some chatter in the Facebook groups for fidgets that there was some discussion about, well, has Magnus changed magnet size? And it kind of occurred to me that A, like not everybody's on Facebook, so if you dodged that bullet, good for you. B, some people may not know you can even change your magnets and your setups. And C, some people just don't know how. So I figured, why not knock all of those birds out with one stone? So what we have today is the Magnus Super Grub 3 that I purchased in February. So this is obviously 2025, in like a year or even less, all this is going to be, all this information is going to be outdated. But for our purposes today in February / March of 2025, this is the Magnus Super Grub 3. So to start with, like, how do we get this open to even check what size the magnets are in this guy? So if you haven't done this before, I highly recommend it. It's kind of fun to take apart your fidgets, and here's a good way to do it so you don't have things flying everywhere, because the magnets are strong, and if you open this up the wrong way, they're going to go everywhere along with the dampeners, but we'll take a peek at those. Okay, so first what you need, of course, is your slider, a metal slider that has screws. In this case, these are the Swiss plates from Magnus, and they've got 3 screws on each plate. So obviously you need that. You also are going to need a screwdriver, probably, with a T8 bit. So I highly recommend, if you guys don't have one of these, it's kind of like a computer nerd toolkit. I've had this for a while. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like under 20 or 30 bucks, and it's come in handy a lot because these screws are so tiny, and when you need one, you need one to unscrew some of these. So, and of course, calipers, which everyone has seen. Again, you can get those on Amazon as well for under 30 bucks too. So, all right. So to start with, what are we going to do? So separate your slider, and we're going to go ahead and unscrew these. Of course, I'm going to put the other top side away for a sec. So these are small. So if you have, I don't know, difficulty with like small things, maybe get somebody to help you out. So there's one. The other thing you can do is, and I've seen watchmakers do this, they have magnetized trays that they put their screws and stuff in, and so they don't lose them, because these are tiny and like that, they do like to roll. All right, and this is the last little guy. Now, it's kind of human nature to be like, okay, I just unscrewed this, now let me take the top piece off. Do not do that. That is not going to be a good result for you. Oops. Okay. Why is this screw being difficult? Whoop, there we go. Okay. So the reason why you don't want to just immediately sort of rip the top off of here is because all these magnets, there's 6 of them, will basically fly out and attach to one another. And you obviously don't want that. But you do have this piece that's going to help you, because it provides that magnetic clamping force that you're looking for. Okay, so we have it mushed together here, sandwiched together as it normally is. The top just comes off, and voila. So we've got 2 pieces. As you can see, these little rings are, however, falling off. So we're going to keep one of them off for now, because we're going to need to use that magnet. To measure. Okay, so we've got our top piece here, and it's got the posts where your screws go in. These can move, so you kind of want to be careful to not jostle this around too much. All right, so we're gonna put that down. Okay, and then we've got our magnets. So you're basically just gonna be scraping this off. Actually, let me see if one of these corners comes off a little bit easier. Obviously, like, these things are really stuck in there because they're magnets. And let's see. Yeah, if you can get your fingernail underneath it, they come off. I'm not going to say easy, but you can move them. Oops. All right, so we got that one off. I'm going to put this over here, far away from everything that it could possibly stick to. Okay, so to answer the question about the size of the potentially new size of Magnus magnets now, at least for the Super Grub. All right, so we're of course measuring in millimeters. Oops. So we've got 6 millimeters for our diameter, I guess, width, and then, whoops, really wants to stick to this guy, of course. And we've got an even 2 for the height. So at least in the Super Grub 3, this kind of answers your question. Your new dimensions for Magnus magnets are 6 millimeters by 2 millimeters. Okay, so we are done with the caliper. Don't need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this back together. Let me get our little rings, our dampeners. Now, also, if you're somebody who really enjoys how it's described as a crunchy, don't put the dampeners back in to your slider. Removing these provides a little bit of room for the magnets to sort of jostle around and move, and that's what actually creates that sort of crunchy feeling and sound. So if you like that, that's another way you can potentially modify your slider. The other way to do it too is to change the different strengths of the magnets. So you could put more powerful magnets. I'm going to make up these numbers. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But it's like 52 in 52 or 54 in the corners. And then weaker magnets, I think is it 40, I don't know, 48, 45 or something like that in the middle. Or even weaker ones, I think it's 34 in 34s. That's what you'll probably hear as like a hybrid setup where you've got different strengths of magnets. So if you're somebody who likes to and has the ability to do like really cool tricks like laddering and things like that with your slider, that's how you can set it up to make it easier for you. All right, so let's go ahead and plop this back in, and yeah, we're good there. That was easy. If it looked easy, it's because it was. I'll put these guys back in. Sorry, keep forgetting. Okay. These won't always be like these cool little O-rings. Sometimes you'll actually have like full plates that go on top of the magnets too that you can change based on the setup that the slider maker uses. All right, so just gonna slap this back on. Okay, so there's there we go. Now, we've got to be a little bit careful here. We have to slide things off. Keep our other piece pretty far away. And kind of have to hope that we didn't jostle the posts. Let's see, and you'll feel it pretty much right off the bat. If there is no bite in the screw, that means that it's just spinning freely and it's not getting into the post, which means you kind of have to go back a few steps and take the plate off again, kind of the same way as we demonstrated earlier. Okay. There we go. Because these move independently, it doesn't always mean like, oh yeah, because I got the first one in, the second one, that the third one's just going to be right on. Unfortunately, no. It's very possible you might have to just fix one of them. But looks like we're good here. I'm just going to make sure everything's tightened. Just have to do finger tightening. I wouldn't tighten these too much. I mean, you don't want to strip out the screw, especially if you're thinking about putting these changing the magnet setups at some point. So I hope this was useful. I hope that you guys got a lot out of this, and if you have any questions, definitely let me know. So yeah, thanks a lot, gang, and have a good night.